The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Yeah. NY born, NY built.
What is up, yo?
Vanilla
Happy
Gorilla,
Sunday,
Big Dog.
Another Sunday
Untouchables.
with
Let's
your
go.
favorite
Step in the
hostess
ring like kings of
with
the block.
mostest.
Gorilla grip, Big Dog, never stop. Iron in the veins, no gimmicks, no props. This is hard work, black top and body slops. Ain't no flash, just fists and fate. We run through ropes like we run through
It can't be. This is crazy. And if nobody at home knows who this guy is, this is the Big Dog. And he did get a tip from the Brooklyn Prodigies earlier on that they had travel issues, but not due to them being scared or anything like that. But oh my gosh, the Vanilla Gorilla and the Big Dog and the Untouchables just inserted themselves into this tag team.
Elbows harder than a steel trash can. One shot, knock them flat on sight. Two beats bred for the spotlight fight. They can talk tough, bark loud all night, but in the ring, we bite and we bite right. We are untouchables, NY bred. Two fists swinging, leave legends dead. Joey bring the rage, Dave bring the brain. Together we storm like a runaway train. Untouchable, New York style. We on tap, we make them snap.
Yo, what is up? What is up? Another Sunday, fun day. Happy Sunday, happy fun day. It is me, the Big Dog, the Vanilla Gorilla, and we are Turnbucklesnstogies Presents. So, on that note, we are chilling today. We have a special guest here, and he's going to be coming in soon. I'll let you introduce him. But
all right, hold on. I'm sorry. I was just answering a text. Testing. Hey, we're here. I had to turn on our microphones, guys. We're using a computer microphone. Is your microphone on? Okay. So we are here. Actually, let me thank these guys real quick because they sent me a nice little care package yesterday. So I want to thank Kingmakers Cigars. Go get yours. They sent me a nice 5-pack of cigars because I was promoting their Kelsey Plume collaboration on my Instagram.
I also want to thank
Which
Trilogy.
Hyman Legzama from Grouchy Monkey.
Grouchy Monkey, yes. Sorry,
So yeah. Kingmakers was so gracious enough to send me a 5-pack. They sent me their newest collaboration, which used to exist way back when they had their own cigars, which was Playboy. Then they sent me the Carmelo Anthony, and then they sent me their core line as well, which consists of the number 1, which is the Persona, number 2 is the Resolver, and 3 is the Inkwell. And it's a Connecticut, Habano, and Maduro. I've never smoked their core line. Those range $20 to $25, I think it said. If you order directly from them, it's $25, I believe. So that would be the retail. And then I believe the collaborations with Carmelo and Kelsey Plume and Playboy, I believe, are $15 or $16 a piece. Might even be cheaper than that. So go get yours from them. I've smoked a few of their cigars, and I've been thoroughly impressed so far. So, yeah, they were nice. Like I said, they were nice enough to send me a 5-pack. It's not the last you'll see of them, I'm sure, on here. So now we have a guest coming on today that was sent to us by a friend of ours who was on here with us when we did our Aganorsa episode. And I want to say I've seen the logo at least before. Never smoked them until right now. So he said, reach out to him. His cigars are great. bring him on. I said, okay, let's see what we can do. So we reached out to him. We got it all set up. And he's here today. So we are going to be smoking his red label. I don't know the name of it, but that's okay because I'm going to let him explain the name of it to us.
The interview of the week is brought to you by Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
That was weird. Let's do that one more time, guys.
The interview of the week is brought to you by Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
And here he is, Mr. Uche of Trilogy Cigars.
Good morning. How you guys doing?
What's up, bro?
All right. Can you guys hear me good?
Yes.
All right. I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for jumping in. I know you're down in
You still down in Orlando, you said, right?
Yeah. I'm in Orlando. I'm held right now at a cigar box. They're not open till 12 o'clock, but I'm lighting up front.
Nice.
Oh, nice. So tell us a little bit about yourself and about the cigar that we're smoking. We're smoking a red cigar.
All right. So Uche, I'm from DMV area. Our brand label is Tribal Trilogy. And like you said, we are smoking the red label. Funny thing is, I heard you a few minutes ago. You said it has no name. Actually, so all of my cigars have a name except for this one. This one is the red label. So the reason why I stuck with the red label is kind of like, you know, when you see people with the red bottoms. I don't even know the designer of red bottoms, but everybody knows red bottoms is top dollar. So that was where I was going with the red. It came out with the limited. I didn't name it because once you put a name on it, you put everything into fruition. So red label has stuck. It's been out for 6 months now, and that's what everybody knows it as, the red label. So I did not name it. I just left it as the red label.
Okay.
I mean, you are right though. Everybody knows the red bottom shoes, and you hear the names get mentioned once in a while of who the actual designer is.
Mm-hmm.
But they're more often than not referred to as red bottoms.
Exactly.
All right.
So how did
The
you
damn
get
post
into
office.
doing cigars, and what did you do before you did cigars?
You said how did I move to get to cigars?
How did you get into doing
Your
cigars?
microphone's not on.
It's-
No, it's not.
Yeah, I
You need to put your microphone higher, not so low.
Can you hear me now?
yeah. All right, so in 2021, so I actually asked for a mobile cigar lounge as well. It's called Dapper Cigar Lounge. So 2021, COVID hit. I started my own mobile cigar lounge because local lounges closed up. So I wanted to pivot and come up with something that would bring the vibe and cigars to people. So in 2022, I said, you know what, I need to pivot and add something in additional because a lot of people were doing a mobile cigar lounge deal. So I learned how to roll from a guy named Neil with Up Top Cigars. He taught me how to roll cigars, and from there, I just was like, you know what, it makes more sense for us to have our own cigars because that was my bottom line. So I bought the lounge, everything was paid for. The only thing I was paying for was gas and cigars. So to drop my bottom line, I decided that I need to be selling my own brand. So 2022 through 2024, I was with the other brand, and in 2024 I branched out, started doing a little bit more research, talking to Master Blender, and developed my own Tribal Trilogy, which, you know, we've been live since November 2024 is when I sold my first cigar.
Okay. And what did you do before that?
So I'm a pharmacist by trade. So I've been in pharmacy for the last 30 years. So it's like yin and yang. You know, some people I tell that I'm a pharmacist like, wait, you know, you're telling people not to smoke, and now you got to smoke in business. It goes hand in hand, honestly. But yeah, I'm a pharmacist by trade. So this is more of a passion versus a business for me.
So now, do you do this on a permanent basis, or do you still do the pharmacy stuff?
Yeah, I still do the pharmacy stuff. The goal is, honestly, man, I got a 5-year plan. 5 years, I'll hang up my cigar. I mean, my pharmacist license, and I'll really just be doing consulting. So if it really continues to grow the way it's been doing the last 2 years, I think in 5 years, if I put in the same time that I put in with pharmacy, I could really do well in this industry.
Okay, and where are you located out of?
I'm in Maryland, so I'm in Southern Maryland, so I'm closest to, MGM and right across the bridge from Virginia. So I'm in a really prime location for the DMV area.
Yeah, that's a fantastic spot to be in.
So you're around all the cigar shops.
Yes.
Okay. So how many core lines? How many cigars do you have for your core line?
So my core line, I have six cigars right now. So I started out with 4, and then I expanded to 2 more this year.
Okay, are you going to PCA this year?
No, I'm not going to PCA this year. Financially, it wasn't in the works. So next year, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go as a participant, and then the following year, the dream is to, actually register and have the cigar brand. So I visited last year, just to, get a feel of how things were going. This year, our schedule's a little bit busy because I actually have to go to Nigeria for a funeral. I'm going to be gone for 3 weeks, so it just didn't tap into my regular schedule.
Sorry to hear that. My condolences to you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
So what do you got to ask him, bud?
I'm pulling up some of the pictures, but my thing is still loading.
So this is the red label.
Yeah. So how did you come up with the actual name Tribal Trilogy for this cigar brand?
All right. So I'm Nigerian and I'm Jamaican, but born on the U.S. soil. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to bring in my heritage and background to educate people more on Nigeria. So in Nigeria, there are 3 tribes that most people know about. They know about the Igbo, the Hausa, and the Yoruba. But my father's tribe, which is called Ekwe, they branched off and did their own thing. So they branched off from the Igbo tribe. So what I did was our logo incorporates a Nigerian warrior from all pieces of those 3 villages. And what I did was I extracted some of the Nigerian piece, and I wanted to make the logo, identifiable to anybody, masculine, feminine, any culture. So, you can wear this anywhere and not tie it to an actual, oh yeah, that's Nigerian. So Tribal Trilogy came from, again, me pulling in the Jamaican, pulling in the Nigerian, and also the Nicaraguan background of my cigars. So that's where Tribal Trilogy and the Trilogy piece came from. At the beginning, there was 3 cigars on the line, so that's where the Trilogy piece came out of.
Okay. No, I was wondering because it's always interesting to hear the backstory behind, the names of the cigars and how they kind of came about. Now, how did you? Where I know you said they're from Nicaragua. Are you working with a factory? Are you partnered with a factory? Are they kind of sending stuff to you?
Now, so it's this 3rd generation. So it's 3rd generation AJ Fernandez. So my master blender and factory is Gomez Cigars. His dad worked for AJ Fernandez for 20 years. Then he branched off on his own, did his thing for 10 years, taught his family, which his son. So his father has Gomez, which he's if you know Apache, he's known for the Apache all over Canada and some in the US. And then his son Gomez came out with my cigar. So 20 years of AJ Fernandez, and then two histories of family. So it's out of Stili. Actually, literally, I went there in November. Not sure if you guys are familiar with the new so it's in Stili. There's this big AJ Fernandez factory that's not even in use. It's about 10 minutes from there. So I definitely had my hand in every blend that came about. So like I said, with the other brand I was with before, he was a roller, a self-taught roller. He taught me how to roll. I ordered my own tobacco, used to play around with the tobacco, and we used to actually roll his blend for certain like golf events and other events like that. So I got my hand into learning how to blend and, see what I like and what I don't like. And that's when I branched off and
Right.
was working with Gomez. Told him exactly what I wanted. We went back and forth, sent me samples, and he perfected, the lines that I wanted.
Now, you sent us 2 cigars. I know this one is more of a fuller body cigar because I feel the punch when I'm smoking it. And then you had sent us this one as well.
Yep.
The black one.
So
Yep.
now
So that's the
what's the size on this? And then what's the size on this one?
Okay. So what you have is the same one as what I have as well. So this is the Robusto. So this is the Omeleche. So, and then the one that we're smoking is the red label, and that's a Toro. So it's crazy because when you when you asked me which one we should smoke, I said the red label because you guys are actually the first podcast that I'm actually pushing a red label on. I sent, I'm part of GTG Brandywine down in Maryland. A lot of our GTG members and other people have smoked the red label, but I haven't really put it on a podcast and actually put it out there like I should. So that's why I said the red label. And it's crazy because as I was driving here, I was like, man, I need to call him and tell him we need to switch to the Omeleche because it's 11 o'clock in the morning and we're smoking a full body. So it depends on your lifestyle and the way because I see you. I don't know if that's coffee. I'm not sure what you're drinking. Some people are like, oh man, it's too early, but okay.
No, that's coffee. But I smoke a full body cigar first thing in the morning.
And
that doesn't faze me.
Well, I'm glad. Because some people are like, oh, I start out with the nice little smooth Connecticut or Habano and I work my way through. As I smoke, this is like I can either go forward or go backwards. But I'm glad you guys were with me on that.
Everybody asks me how it depends on my day what I want to smoke. Sometimes I'll smoke a Habano. Sometimes I'll smoke a Connecticut. But honestly, most of the time I'll wake up and light up a full body cigar first thing in the morning and not even care about it. And people are like, how do you do that? I'm like, well, I said, because there's a difference. I said, you smoke and I smoke. Right. I said, there's a difference in this. I said, there's levels to this. I said, they're like, I've been smoking 20 years. I said, right. I said, but I've been smoking 10 and I'm a level above you.
I'm with you on that.
I was like, I just know what I like.
Yeah.
But again, I don't knock anybody because everybody's different. But I try to make them laugh because I'm like, it doesn't matter what I smoke first thing in the morning and what you smoke. I don't care. As long as you don't bother me, I don't bother you.
So now let me ask you this question. What made you want to start a mobile cigar lounge?
So I really wanted a brick and mortar, right? So, everybody's dreams to own a brick and mortar cigars. I'm going to tell you, it was a blessing that COVID hit because that really, had me recalculate things. So I switched to the mobile cigar lounge because one, like I said, during COVID, most cigar lounges were closed or they were limited space. With the mobile cigar lounge, when I looked at, the logistics of it and how much it was going to cost me, once I finished paying for my lounge, there was no more, paying the light bill, paying this person, that person. Then I also thought about location. So, I'm in the DMV area. There are 6 to 7 prominent cigar lounges in my area, and then surrounding in the DMV area is another 6 to 7. So now you got me who knows nothing about cigars, business wise. I'm fighting with all of those people, and you have your loyalty people. So what are going to make them bring to me? So I had to come up with a business design that I could still use that same customer base, but I'm not stepping on anybody's toes. So that's where I came up with the mobile cigar lounge because I'm going to people's houses. I'm doing bachelor parties. I have a residency at a place where they have a bachelorette suite. I mean, not a bachelorette. I'll keep saying it. So they have a bridal suite, but they don't have a groomsman suite. So I do a residency there. So what ends up happening is if the groom wants a place, that do his last 2 hours with his groomsmen, smoke, watch TV, have a good time, they actually have a place on the facility. So it ended up turning out to be a great opportunity for me that even if I go back and look like, hey, you know what, even if I had the capital, Would I do a brick and mortar versus a mobile? Absolutely not. Because, say for instance, next month I have 3 events. I can make $4,000 in 2 weekends. Yes, please. I can make $4,000 in 2 weekends, and the only thing I have to pay for, no, I don't have to pay for cigars anymore because I'm doing my own cigars. So really, I just have to pay for staff. I have to pay for the aesthetics to make everybody feel good. So I mean, I'm making a net like 3,400 if I have 3 events that I'm charging people for. So that you
Right.
with a brick and mortar, I have it's so much more stuff that I have to kick out on a monthly basis. With my lounge, the only thing in the month when I'm not doing anything, I'm paying for storage. If I'm in a brick and mortar and nobody comes in, I still got to pay for the lights. I still got to pay for the rent. I still got to pay the lease. So
Yup.
that's why I feel like this is where it's at.
You're not the first person I've heard say that, because there's a few people. Another friend of ours is actually, he was working with a company, and then he left the company. Now he's getting ready to open his own mobile lounge.
Okay.
But now he's also like you. He's also got his own cigars too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I recommend it to any. I have a couple friends, or who own cigars, and I mean, with any business, first 2, 3, 4 years, it takes to get back the dollar that you put into it. But honestly, I used my 401k to pay off my first lounge. And then because of COVID, I had nothing but time. So literally I was in there, I was my own contractor. So I built it all out. I knocked down the walls. I put in the tile. My dad, he was always a person like, we're not paying anybody to do anything. So like, I mean, I did the flooring, I did the sink, I did the chairs, I did the TV. So like it really, the first one was my baby. So I built that from ground up. So yeah, definitely at the end of the day, like it's nothing but reap this benefit now. What I sold into.
And what's the name of your lounge?
Dapper Cigar Lounge. So Dapper with 2 P's, DAPPER.
Okay, yeah, I follow you on Instagram. Yep.
Yes, sir.
So now, what I was gonna say is like, how big is your mobile lounge? Did you buy like an RV, a trailer? Like, how did you come up with your sizing? And then, like you said, you did your own contracting work inside, but like how big did you want to go on your first one?
So the first one was a 28-foot toy trailer. So that toy trailer, so crazy thing is, so I went from small chairs, big chairs. So originally I had 12 chairs inside the cigar lounge, 2 TVs, and this one actually had a dry bar in it. So you had the sink in there, you had a microwave, you had a actual oven. So literally it was like, so that one was 28 feet, that sink 12. But after I like transformed it a little bit to make it more homely and everybody to sit more comfortably, I broke it down to 9 chairs. So that's at 9, with a bathroom, with a built-in humidor in there, and the kitchenette, like I was telling you. And also, in the DMV, our weather's pretty good up until December-ish to April-ish. So I would also do outside stuff. So with the what I loved about the toy trailer is the toy trailer, the back comes down. So what I would do is I put the back down, and then I would just set up around the back as well. So I would have chairs. I had a tent over top. So I mean, it really could be a party. But if it's cold, it's literally those 9 folks inside. And the reason why I looked at it is like that. So if you go into a cigar lounge, depending on who you're there with, more than likely you're not smoking with more than 7 to 8 people. So I took the pockets when you walk into a big cigar lounge and you look at the pockets of the people, and I said, all right, I'm going to create my own pocket. Then you don't have to worry about the people that you like. It's not, I mean, cigar lounge etiquette is a little bit different in some places. Most people don't get in each other's business, but even if you wanted not to be in the same area as everybody, now I've created that pocket for you, nice and cozy. You can do what you want to do. You can drink, which is BYOB, so you can drink what you want to drink. We had the music, so you can control the music, and you didn't. So if you want to come in, you want to listen to jazz with your group, you want to listen to R&B, rock, whatever you want to listen to, like you control that. Sorry, right. You control that as my customer. So that's where that one came in at. So then about 2 years ago, I was doing an event in Baltimore, and this guy comes up and he's like, hey, I got another trailer just like that one I could sell for you. And I'm like, nah, no. I had just filed my taxes. He's like, yeah, I'll sell that to you. So I grabbed that one from him. So that's a 32 foot that they had already customized because it was owned by another cigar lounge, which he was trying to branch out and do mobile cigar lounge as well. But I think fell on some type of hard times. So I ended up buying that one. So that's 32 foot. That seats 13 people comfortably, like customized seat similar to this. Leather interior, big screen TV up front, bathroom, surround sound music, heat, air, all that good stuff. Only thing I had to put in there was a humidifier, built-in humidors that I can use during events. So now I do 12 people, and that's more. The other one was more like when you sat down, you had leg space and you could put in your ashtrays, but you couldn't move around. This one literally, there's like about 3 feet from each side. So, you can really sit in there. We can have stand only people sitting and things like that. So I've expanded a little bit more. And then that one more, the outside has a awning as well. So I do that for like tailgates. I do that with outside parties as well. The only thing that I miss is, again, the toy trailer where I can pull the hatch down the back. Because most people, they were looking from the back to see what's going on. Like, hey, what's going on? What's up? What's up, man? That's my guy right there. Thanks for putting me on.
Well, he tried to put you on everything.
This cigar is
Slimming.
Delicious.
I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you.
It's got that faint pepper that sits through the whole cigar. So far that I've noticed, it sits on like the back of your palate. It's not overpowering, but it's just enough to let you know that it's there.
Correct.
But it's delicious. I'm enjoying it. Now, is this a San Andreas wrapper, or what kind of Maduro wrapper did you use?
Got it. So this is San Andreas wrapper, and then for the binder I have Indonesian, and then I have Nicaraguan filler. So it's that pepper that you're talking about is from the Indonesian wrapper. So it's a white pepper, which I just found out. So the white pepper is like you said, it's a little bit more faint, and it's not as spicy as you're kicking with a full San Andreas or Habano. I love Habano, so my spice comes from Habano. So with the Indonesian, it gives it a little bit more subtle, but you still get that spicy.
Yeah, it sits just on the back of your palate, like just enough to let you know it's there, but not like you get some of them that's like super overpowering with black pepper or white pepper, and then it becomes too much.
Yeah, that's what's up.
And the fact that you, like you said, you were able to blend this, and he kind of knew what you were looking for, and you came up with this one. You definitely hit a home run here. I haven't smoked the rest of your stuff yet, but as far as a full body goes, this is definitely what a full body smoker would be looking for. And honestly, I think this could smoke. Anybody could kind of smoke this, whether they're a full body smoker or not, because it's not an extremely overpowering full body.
Right.
That's good to hear. I appreciate you guys.
That's good, because you don't want that. He said, "You're a class act. I'm the man. You're just kind of He's talking to you. You're kind of F.
No, you're kind of F.
So on that note, let's take a quick break, and then we'll be right back.
So we are back. Happy Sunday, fun day. We are back, and we have Mr.
What's up, Danny?
Uche Trilogy online with us.
What's up, Danny? What's going on?
So that's my boy Danny from Florida.
I'm actually trying to pull up some photos, but
tell us
I'm having some issues.
more about your core line because we're looking it up, but we can't pull it up.
Well, I have the pictures. It just they're not. StreamYard is not up. There we go. Hold on, it's here. That's not the one I wanted. What the hell?
So tell us more about your core line.
No, so we got this one here, which you sent me as well.
Yeah. All right, so let me see. I have a few with me, so I can show you. All right, so we already talked about the red label. So next I'm gonna get into the Omeleche. So here we go. So the Omeleche is number 2 on the street. So this one is a so actually backstory. I love Habanos. Habano's my favorite. So 3 of the 5 of my cigars are actually Habano cigars. Thank you. I appreciate you. All right. So yeah, Cigar Lounge just opened up, so they're moving around me. So Habano. So can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yep.
All right, perfect. So yeah, this first one, Habano wrapper. So inside we have Cuban, Mexican filler, and then we have a Nicaraguan binder. So this will give you that nice, creamy, smooth smoke as a Cuban. But then you get a little bit more spicier than a normal Cuban, not as dry. So thank you. Appreciate it. So then also, this is also the Omeleche too. So if you look at both of them, they're both Robustos, but one is a Habano. And what I did with this one, the Omeleche one was part of the original core line. So what ended up happening was people were smoking it. The people were about it. They're like, oh, but I want something with a little bit more kick. So what I did was I used the same exact internal pieces. So we have the Cuban and Mexican filler, and then we have the Nicaraguan binder, but then I put a squirrel wrapper on it to give it a little bit more kick. So this gives you more like a medium plus, but still the same smooth, the earthy, the woody, the walnut that you
that's
would get.
this one.
Yep, that's the one you have in your hand.
Okay.
So then we also have the Ucoma. So we have 2 Ucomas. That one. So the Ucoma, this one doesn't have a horsetail, but I have one that's a 58. Actually, we're sold out of those ones. So that's the one all the way 1, 2, 3. That's the 4th one down. So that's a San Andreas wrapper. It has a horsetail on it. And then it has Nicaraguan binder and filler. So that's our full body and our Maduro, which will go alongside the red label. That's the one that we're smoking today. Which the red label, like I said, that's a Mexican San Andreas wrapper. We have the Indonesian binder, and then the Nicaraguan filler. And then also, which I don't have a picture, at the very top, we have a torpedo. So that's the introductory stick, but it's also a stick that everybody loves. So that's also a Habano with Nicaraguan filler and binder. So with that one, that's one that I would say, hey, you know what? First thing in the morning, you coffee smoker, you want some cinnamon, some nutmeg, some vanilla. That's the one that you would smoke. And it has a little bit of kick because of Habano, but it's not too overbearing, and everybody can smoke it. So that's. And then I have one more, which is the Obudu, which I don't have as well. So that one's actually our top seller. So that is a Toro. That is a Habano wrapper as well, and then a Nicaraguan filler and binder. The difference between that one is the binder is from the region where they have used to have volcanoes. It's a natural spice from the volcano, the old volcano-ish area, and then another region in the country, Nicaragua. So although it's the same Nicaraguan binder and filler from the rest of mine, it's from a different region of Nicaragua. So it gives you a total different flavor profile on every third on that one. So
okay.
then I know
I had a picture of all of your cigars together, but for some reason, the StreamYard doesn't want to
promote it,
cooperate with me. But it had your ashtray your
got you.
card with all of your blends, and then all of your
Hmm.
cigars with the different labels.
Okay. Okay.
Now, how did you come up with the color? Obviously, the red label, like you said, for the higher price or the higher value, whatever.
Hmm.
And I noticed you have a lot of like the black and gold, and then you have the blue and gold, and then you have kind of a different variation of the red label. It looks like on the torpedo.
Hmm. So
How did you with those colors? Do they mean something? Are they kind of
yeah, so more like
uh
it's just so the golden boss, of course, is royalty. Just like in India, gold is royal. So in Nigeria, silver is not utilized. Gold is a top priority. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to have the gold embossed, to show the royalty of the cigar. So the original Ukoma, so the black came from, so Ukoma actually means strong in my language, because that's the
Okay.
Maduro, that's our strongest cigar. So I wanted to bring in, the royalty, the blackness of the cigar because of the Maduro, and then the intricate details. So in 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 my homeland, those are the main colors that we use. So we wear like most people know them as like dashikis and things like that. So the print that we use, the the basis colors for that is normally maroon, brown, and white. So what I want, that's where those colors came out in our masks. So like I said, that's the warrior,
okay.
which would be the strongest, right? So of course, you know, just like the medieval times. So the warrior was the one who was out there doing their thing, but then the prince or the king was the one who actually ran everything. So that's where we came in with the second logo, which is the Omaleche logo. So this is the prince. So this would be a Nigerian prince. So it ends up happening this, although he's in the line, he runs the line. So that's
Right.
why, and then that's the black and the gold on that one. And then like you said, the blue was more something that it brought the color out of the baseline of the prince, which again, princes, if you look at, in his crown, he has like the bluish greenish. That's more for the land
Right.
of Nigeria, because we get a lot, oil and land and crops is what we're based upon. So I wanted to bring all of those colors into the cigars. The red, I'm a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to incorporate my family. I mean, my fraternity, and I mean, red just pops. So
It does.
I went from a red, a yellow, a orange, and then like a tannish color. But the red was what made it, really stand out and come out. And amongst next to them, it just brings out the cigar.
Okay.
No, I like to know sometimes because sometimes there's no meaning behind the band. Sometimes there is because like you'll see somebody will pick a big band. It's like, well, what did you do that? It pops on the shelf. There
Mhm.
was no real backstory, but the fact that you're able to tie in your background and your heritages and kind of put them into the cigars and incorporate that is an interesting aspect because you don't get a lot of that nowadays when it
Yeah, so
comes to cigar brands. A lot of times it's just, it's either a funny name or they just decided to do that or they just picked that color because it pops or anything like that. And now do your boxes match the colors of the bands on the cigars, or are they just kind of like basic wooden cedar boxes?
so they're actually they match the logo. So like I'm gonna grab
Okay.
two boxes in a second. So four of the five. So the Coma box, I just developed the box. So the Coma box is all black on the inside and outside, and then it has the warrior face on it with the gold, and then says Tribal Trilogy on the bottom. Then the Omaleche boxes and the Obodo boxes is their cedar boxes that fit the Toro and the Robusto. But then you have the logo with all the colors stamped inside the middle of the box and on the outside of the box. So you have the wood and cedar background, but you have the logo coming at you.
Right.
That way, and it's crazy because it depends. First of all, it depends on the cigar lounge, because if you think about it, most of the cigar lounges rip the top of the box off because they have they have inside the humidor. It's like
Yep.
on an angle. So most of the time, I'm like, man, I don't even want to waste my time. Because a good box. Sorry, a good box cuts into your bottom line. A good box is $6 to $8 to produce. So it's like I'm spending
Right.
$6 to $8 that I don't want to give the customer, but the lounge is just gonna rip the top of my box off. I'm a small boutique
Right.
brand, so I don't expect for people to walk into a cigar lounge. Granted, I have people, because I also do online orders. I have people who order 10, 20, 40 cigars, so they're getting boxes. But normally, you're walking in, you're getting about 4 or 5, because you want to bless all the rest of the lines that are in there. So for me, the box wasn't as important as the label and the actual cigar. But yeah, I definitely put my heart and soul to the box as well. We now have a hand developed box for the Okoma, and then the next one will be the Obudu. But I'll try to run over and grab on the next commercial, grab 2 or 3 of my boxes so you can see the box, because I was able to bring a few down to Orlando.
Okay. And now you said people can order from you too.
Yeah, so on Dapper Cigar Lounge, we have a cigar section. So you go into the cigar section, you can order the apparel, you can order the shirts. We have hats, we have backpacks, we have lighters, we have these nice tumblers. So you can order from Dapper Cigar Lounge online. You can order from Wolf Pack Cigar Club. If you're a member of Wolf Pack Cigar Club, Black
Yep.
Box Cigar Club. Those are all of our online vendors, including myself, and then we're in a lot of local shops in the DMV area. Invictus, which is in Waldorf, Maryland. We have in Stafford Tobacco, which is in Stafford off of Jefferson Davis Highway. We're in La O Mills, which is in Alexandria, Virginia. We are
Yep.
in Mr. C's, which is in Luxby, Maryland. And what I also did was I tapped into restaurants and businesses. So what I do is I put a personalized humidor with inside. I'm at Buddy's DC. So basically, the internal humidor is a Tribal Trilogy humidor. So all is a Tribal Trilogy. Continent DC. We're also down at the National Harbor at Brass Tap. I know I'm missing a few. Black River Tobacco Company, which is in North Carolina. We're also in Smoke and Mirrors, which is in Fredericksburg. We're in Orleans After Dark, which is in Fredericksburg as well. And we're trying to tap into as far. Oh, we're in. I can't remember. Matt probably can write it in, but we're in another. We also were in another cigar club online. They bought a few boxes. I can't recollect the name right now, but yeah, we're trying to.
So
We're trying.
you're not in no place in New York or New Jersey, are you?
No, so I went to school in Boston, right? So I did 6 years in Boston, and then New York is another one of those companies where, because of another state is, because of the tax that they charge, nobody really wants to buy the cigar, because it's like, you're selling your cigar. My MSRP now is $12.50. It used to be $12, but then now they're taxing me 20% on tariff, so I got to give it back some way. But my MSRP, I'm selling the cigars for $12.50. There's no way they can buy the cigars from me and make any profit with the taxes. So I don't even mess with the anywhere from Maine all the way down to New York, unfortunately.
Jersey would probably be your next best bet.
Yeah, so
Because
I sent some
Jersey's taxes aren't that bad. That's where I go to get a lot of my stuff. They're in Connecticut.
okay.
No, they're in Jersey.
If I could get
That's
some
where
type,
we
if I
go to
could get
pretty
some
much get
lists.
ours.
Oh, that's where you guys get some fun. Yes, I mean that's the next. I really want to expand. As you can see, I'm good on a DMV tip and going south. I really want to get north. My next push is like you said, the Philly, the Pennsylvania, the Jersey areas. I did drop my cigars off to us. I think it's Main Street Cigars. I think they're in Jersey, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they're
they
out
just
in
didn't.
Woodbridge.
Yeah, so they like the cigar, but call it just. I mean, they don't have any real estate for me at this point in time. So what I want to do is I'm gonna go to their summer event this year and try to be a vendor, so I can at least get the cigars into the hands of some of the people from the Jersey area. Of course, with your following, hopefully some people knock on my doors as well, because you guys are well known up in that area.
Yeah,
and we're also
absolutely.
in Ohio.
And
Matt
try to help out
pushes.
where we can.
Okay, I appreciate you guys. And then Matt he pushes Ohio, and I think he's close to the Pennsylvania area, so I sent some boxes out that way as well.
Yeah, he's up. He's closer to he's like that Ohio, like Pittsburgh area kind of deal. Because he's like right there. I think he takes a trip there every couple months. I think he said he goes down for like a weekend. Because he's only a 4-hour ride or a 3-hour ride, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're in Jersey quite a bit because we're like 45 minutes to an hour from the border.
Okay.
So we go there quite a bit because honestly, I buy cigars here, but I get a lot of my stuff between there and Connecticut and PA, or I order online because it's cheaper.
Yeah, for sure. I get you.
It's so much cheaper because like your cigar is $12.50 for the shop to bring it in. Before they get it to pay the taxes on it, they got to pay 75% of that. So you figure that's another $7 to $8 on top of that. They'd have to sell that cigar for $20 to $25 before. Who's that?
I don't know.
They have to sell it for $20 to $25 before they can do anything.
Can I help you?
You guys order breakfast?
Can I help you?
Hold on. Let's take a quick break.
Can I help you?
There's a hotel window many floors above. What's missing down there is love. Thinking through the smoke that fills my mind. Don't worry, it's not my first time. Adios, amigo. I'm so glad I seen you. Seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town. They say it's all inside, heaven and hell. What happened to that angel when he fell? Give it just one try. Tell me you don't like it. Be God for a moment and don't despise it. Adios, amigo. I'm so glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town. outside and breathe. Play a little in the street. Hope it's not me they're sending. Move on from over there. Give the kids a little scare. Oh, these fences, they need mending. Adios, amigo. So glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town. Adios, amigo. So glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town.
We are back. We are back. Turnbuckles and Stogies Pod, your favorite podcast. I am the big dog. That is the Vanilla Gorilla. And we have
Uche.
Uche Trilogy.
Travel
out.
trilogy.
Yeah, Maddie had when he sent me your information. He goes here. He sent me your name, and then he in parentheses pronounced
Yeah.
this way to make sure I pronounce it right. Because listen, you could pronounce. I've seen people with basic names, and it's pronounced in like 5 syllables, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, your name is John. They're like, no, it's Jahan. I'm like, huh? Like that don't make no sense.
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
like, that don't make no damn sense.
Johan.
I'm like, look, how do you get that from this? And I'm like, but there's no, like, that doesn't. It's one of those. It's like, how do you comprehend something like that? Where at least, knowing your heritage and your background, it makes sense. Why he said, hey, here's how you pronounce it, because at the end of the day, we don't want to mess up your name. We don't want to mess up the name, as we try as best we can sometimes, but it's cool. I mean, to learn all of the backgrounds behind like what you do and how you kind of incorporated your stuff into your cigars, and that's not a normal thing. I feel I could be wrong.
No, you're right.
That there's not a lot of background or heritage or anything that a lot of people put in their cigars. Oh yeah, Team USA hockey got a gold medal today. They came back and won in overtime. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, they did. They came back and won in overtime.
It's about time.
So now, I know you said you had some boxes with you.
Yeah. So while you were while we were on break, I was able to go grab some. So I actually found a couple things. So earlier we had talked about the Ubaji, which is the
So that was the other
torpedo.
That was the other red label I was talking about in your picture with the red background.
Yep, so that's the Ubaji. So this is the Habano torpedo that I was saying, which is our mild to medium stick, fully Nicaraguan binder and filler. So this is one of the boxes. See if I can get some good light on there. So see how I was saying.
So I like
what
that.
it does is we have the mask, and then I also make sure the name is incorporated in the side, so there's no questions asked about it. So that is what we have the omeleches in. And then another box that I have with me is the Ubaji box. So the Ubaji box.
Wow. I like that.
So all of the boxes are similar. They'll have the cigar name at the top and then the size, and then inside. And then what I did was to identify the box. We have gray. We have the black one for the
And I
Yukoma.
like the latches on the box. That's different.
Yeah, and then we have a walnut brown for the other cigars. I appreciate
So
it. Yeah,
now,
we just
let me
wanted to
ask
be a
you
little
this.
bit different.
So when you sell them boxes, can they just reorder cigars and put them back in the boxes, or they got to
If they're in lounges.
they're in line?
Yeah, so remember earlier, so I told you the MSP is $12.50. So what I do is on initial order, you get the boxes and it's like 50 cents each extra or something for the sticks. But after that, when you reorder, you can order in bundles of 20, which that'll refill a box, because a lot of shops, the complaint is we end up throwing the boxes away. So I try to, I cut my costs and I cut their costs by the initial. You get the boxes, and then like we do a refresh maybe every year or what have you, if the box fades out or anything. But yeah, we do a refresh of the box. But yeah, so I don't charge them. I just send bundles once they purchase the box. Unless again, like we have some places like, oh, we're selling boxes off the shelves, I will go ahead and send more boxes. But other than that, most people they love the idea that they can restock with just getting the cigars, no boxes.
Right. No, and that's big because a lot of people now, that seems to be what a lot of the boutique companies are doing now, is they're doing boxes on the initial order and then offering refill bundles, so to say. But there's also people that have said, we have shops that we offer that option, but they don't want that. They want fresh boxes every time they order.
I don't understand.
Which is good, but at the same time, it's like they're eating into their own cost per cigar, which I don't think some of these shops realize.
Yeah, you're right. And I mean, the one good thing again about my logo is like a lot of people like the logo. So I've had store owners hit me like, hey, I need a new box. And I'm like, why? It's like somebody stole my box or somebody asked me for the box.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it happens like, and then you get some of the shops that put them on sale for like $1, $2, $3, but then they get ones like yours that are almost like a travel humidor because it's got that lock. So a lot of times what I've seen too is like boxes like that, there are shops that will turn around and sell it as a travel humidor.
Right.
They'll sell it as like, tribal trilogy, travel humidor, $25, and then they're selling the box for $25, but now they got to reorder that box because they sold it, but now they're reordering the box plus whatever other bundles they're going to need to fill their other boxes.
Yeah.
But no, that's actually, I like your boxes though, because it does almost make it like a travel humidor. Because of that lock on it, it kind of seals it a little tighter.
Correct.
Okay.
So you could after, if you were to order a box as a consumer, when you were done, you potentially could use that as a travel humidor.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you
wanted, you just added a selling point for me. You just added a selling point for me. So now the next shop, matter of fact, when I go in the cigar box after the podcast and talk to them about getting some boxes, I'm going to use that as a selling tool.
Hey,
so you'll get some royalties for that. You'll get some royalties for that, Vanilla.
It's true though. I mean, if you think about it, right? It's true. It's true because it's got the lock, so you could potentially sell the travel humidor after they're done if they wanted to. But a lot of people, if they have regular customers that are buying cigars, they might just say, "Hey, listen, this box is empty. Why don't you take this and use it as a humidor? Or we'll let us order you a bundle or a mixed bundle, fill it up for you, and this way, you have the box and the cigars that go with it." There are some places like that. If they spend enough money, or if they are a regular, they're always in there doing stuff and helping out, the shop owners will take care of them. Cool. Man, this cigar just gets better and better and better as you get through it.
I'm almost done with mine.
I'm good to hear you. I'm glad to hear that, brother.
Your cigars, do they only come in Toros and Robustos, and then that one single one is in the Torpedo? Or do you have different sizes? Have you thought about expanding to different sizes?
So the two that I changed the size was the red label. So the red label comes in a Toro and the Robustos, and then the Ucoma, the next one that's coming out with the Ucoma, I'm gonna put that in a Toro because everybody likes it, but again, you don't have time to smoke. Sometimes you don't have enough time to smoke for an hour, so I want to give them a little bit more choice. And then I'm toying with changing the size of the torpedo, because a lot of all seven, um, take the torpedo. I'm not really sure. I started out with the torpedo because originally, it was the hottest thing in 2024. Like everybody was smoking torpedoes. Now I just feel like it's mellowed out. So the cigar is a great cigar, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the Robusto as well because the flavor profile is on it great. Hopefully it doesn't change because I go from torpedo to Robusto, but that's the next sample that I'm bringing in. Actually, it'll drop to me next Friday. It's at Customs, so
Okay.
I'll test that out and see how that's going. But when I
Now,
first
have you
started out, I
considered
said
going to like 6x60s as well for some of your cigars, or is that not something you're interested in right now?
so. Geographically, so the closest one I had is the 58, which is Ucoma, and that's my top seller. I wouldn't mind going to a Gordo. The thing about I play by region. So in the DMV region, most people don't like to go past the 58 because it's such a big ring gauge, and you
Right.
lose some of the flavor when you get up to the 60. So I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna do it. I haven't explored that, but that's something that I could talk to my blender about when I get my next sample, just to test them out. Because normally what I'd like to do, that's where the red label came about. I like to actually get the input from the customers because I do not want to spend X amount of dollars and then the cigars sit because since I
Right.
started in 2024, nothing sits. So I definitely want cigars that aren't going to be on the shelves and they, for that long. But I definitely would entertain jumping up to the 6x60 to give it a little bit more punch and a longer hit.
Right. No, for sure. And that I always like to ask that because some people I've interviewed and asked that question too. They're like, "Oh no, we don't want to do 60s, or we're not doing 60s, or it's not going to sell, whatever." Can you just plug the computer charger in for me? It's like we've had people just say, it's not going to work, it's not going to this, and it depends on, like you said, the region as well.
Mhm.
And I think, like you said, that plays a big part in it because you can plug it right in the pink one, Dad. I think that plays a big part in it too because depending on where you are, and certain sizes are going to sell better certain times of the year as well.
Mhm.
Because up here, obviously, a 60 ring in the wintertime may not sell unless they're smoking inside or in a cigar lounge.
Yeah, the Robusto's definitely hitting the
Um,
wintertime.
yeah, and especially something like your red label in a Robusto probably packs more of that punch than obviously the Toro is going to pack the same punch, but that Robusto is going to pack more of a punch than a Toro because it's a shorter cigar and everything is more compact.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm with you, brother.
Yeah, no, I listen. Your lineup for a smaller boutique brand has a lot, and I've seen the logo before. I don't remember who's posted it, but I've definitely seen one of your bands before. Maybe it was on Wolfpack. I saw it,
More than likely.
or somewhere else. Somebody had posted it, but um, it's a very distinct logo, which I like.
I
There's
appreciate that.
not many. There's not many. Like it's not a generic, as I call it, like a copy and paste logo of somebody smoking, or it's this or it's that, because you took the time to do it properly and invest the time into it and make sure that it was the way you wanted it. And you yourself did the aspect of opening up a mobile lounge first and
Yeah.
then doing your cigars.
Hmm.
Jesus. So this is This is from my boy Danny in Florida. I have over 1,500 cigars in my humidor, and not one is a 60. Well, yeah, you don't smoke 60s, Danny. I do know that. Very rarely do you smoke them. He's not a big ring gauge smoker. I used to be. I do smoke a 60 from time to time, but not like I used to consistently. It was like every week. Every single week or every day, not every week, every day when I was smoking 60 ring gauges. Every time I went to the store, I was buying 60 ring gauge cigars. And then, as I started getting more and more into my smoking and working for a company and kind of learning more about the sizing, I started smoking more Toros and then more Robustos. And, I gravitate a lot more now towards the Robusto cigars. I don't know why, but I do like my Toros. Like I have quite a few Toros in my humidor now that people have sent me that I've bought. And, those Toro and Robusto sizes are kind of where I lie a lot now as far as smoking goes. Again, it's personal preference. Like I won't say I don't smoke 60 rings because there's certain cigars I will. Like I'll smoke Lunatics. I'll smoke Asylums. But I know what I'm getting into when I smoke those. Now, let me ask you this. Besides your brand, what do you like to smoke outside of your brand?
Outside my brand, so I say I'm a novice. So I'm still learning. But a go-to if I go into the cigar lounge, My Father, definitely picking up a My Father. Liga on a celebration. If I have a couple extra dollars, I'll definitely grab a Liga 9, a T52. Those are my two
Solid.
go-tos. I started off on, fat bottom Bettys and things like that. I might kick off a Kentucky Fire Carrot, depending on how I'm
The
feeling that day.
KFC,
Yeah,
I like those.
those are they give you a nice punch, and it's a great flavor profile, man.
Because they didn't, you know what it is? It's not overdone. It's not overly flavored. They didn't do anything special to it besides age it and burn it with the barrels. They didn't, they didn't put any flavoring in it like the fat bottom Bettys and stuff like that. They just
Yeah.
they let the barrels and the wood and the leaves do the talking.
Yeah. And then my next one, I love anything from Georgia State, bro. Like Georgia State is where it's at for me. Anything
Mhm.
Georgia State, and I think that's because I started off on Factory Smokes, which is a Georgia State line, and working my way through. So Georgia State and price point for me is really good. So those three are definitely ones that any day they're in my humidor, any day I want to stop and have a quick smoke, those are the ones I would go to.
And now, have you smoked any other boutique brands besides yours?
Yeah, I mean, so good being here at the Boutique Cigar Fest. There were at least 15 boutique vendors that I've tried. I mean, I from names of who was there yesterday? BAMF. I met.
Yep.
I was right next to Sable Cigars. She started actually in November of 2025. Pretty solid sticks. She has 3, and she also does coffee. I liked her cigars. Funny thing is, I'm not a person who checks the weather. So from the DMV, we're pretty cold. I came down here, man. I didn't get a tent. I was the only one out there without a tent. 95 degrees.
Oh my God!
So Sable
Oh
and
my God!
yeah. Sable and Klein Cigars out of New York, they allowed me to get underneath their tent, so I definitely smoked their stuff yesterday. Pretty bomb cigars. Let me see who else has sent me some boutique wise. Casa Cabela. Definitely that's where he's out of Maryland.
Casa Caraballo.
Yep. Yeah. That's
Yep,
how, yeah. You got to put
Side.
the Latino swing on it. Yeah. So that's my man. He's in Maryland with me. events together.
Yep. So I've had Mario on the show. I've had Ish on
Okay.
the show. Ish is actually
Okay.
a recurring guest on my show quite a bit. I
Okay.
love Ish.
Nice. Yeah. So I forgot the Sebastian. I was not with Ish. I forget the other young man. His partner. I smoked with them. They sell Sebastians like water in the DMV area. Those are the ones that really come to mind that I would say I smoke on a regular basis that are in my humidor. But also, I'm part of Wolfpack Cigar Club and Black Box, so their thing is boutique cigars. So
Yes.
within their subscription, you get all types of Crown cigars, Cloud Bros. So basically, and any other boutique brand that I could support, because they support me, I'm definitely grabbing one of their cigars and things like that.
I'm working on getting that 100 ring gauge lunatic, Danny. I'm not smoking that 134 Megalodon freaking Asylum. I won't even do that. I won't venture to do that. Especially now that a box of 2 is $250. No.
Jesus. Oh, thanks.
And he said, and Danny's a big Room 101 guy.
Okay.
As far as like mainstream brands go, he's a big Room 101 guy. Yeah, this podcast kind of started, with me and my dad originally trying to do this during COVID. And then it kind of went to Instagram with me and a couple other guys. And then we brought my dad on, and, the other two guys, one guy stepped away because he had some family stuff going on. And then the other guy stepped away because he had some family stuff going on. It's been me and my dad for a couple years now, but we primarily specialize in the boutique world because like we have a lot of friends of ours that are in the boutique world. So we specialize in kind of getting their name out there and trying to support them any way we can. Like we've had Drew Estate, we've had some of the guys from Drew Estate on. We're actually getting ready next week to have United Cigars on. We're working our way to the bigger brands now. Like we've had Crown Heads, we've had them, we've had yeah, it is awkward, Danny. It's so awkward. I can't even after 100, you're playing with fire there. I want to buy the Asylum ones, but I just can't bring myself to do it. Especially not 225 or 250 for 2 cigars and a lighter that's about that big. The cigar is about this big, and the lighter you get with it is about that big.
Man, that's crazy.
Like I've smoked, I think the biggest I've smoked was 120. And that's because at the time it was a bunch of us that ordered it. We knew a person in Michigan that could get it for us from the tobacco shop up there that it was exclusively made for. So we ordered them. It was $20 a cigar. We ordered them. We smoked it. It was fun. It was good. The biggest I've gone since then is like Asylum, the April Fools, the 9x90. That's about the limit I've drawn. After that, I haven't went any higher than that.
Did you get through that 120?
I got through it to that last third, and then probably about part of the way through that last third, it just got really hot and just didn't taste that good. But again, I did that in the middle of summer on like 100-degree day because I had nothing better to do than smoke cigars that day. And I was like, I'm going to smoke this. And then I didn't smoke for like 3 days after that. Like my palate was it was destroyed. I was like so smoked out. I was like, the next day I'm like, I want to smoke. And then I was like, no, I really don't. I was like, I really don't. I'm like, I just want to go sit inside and watch TV. Like, I don't even really want to smoke after that. We didn't have the podcast at the time, which was good because I didn't have to smoke a cigar the next day. Which worked out because if I had the podcast the next day, I would have sat here and just not had a conversation. I wouldn't have even smoked. I'd have been like, all right, tell us about your cigars because I can't smoke no more. I'm smoked out. Yeah, no, it's awkward, dude. It's bad. After a certain threshold, it's like, and it sucks because if they're done right, they're enjoyable. Like I enjoyed the cigar, but that last third was just like it got to be so hot, and I was just like, yeah, I can't. Like
I
I'm
can
just
dig it.
putting it away. I put it on the table. I'm like, it can go out on its own. Like I'm finished. I can't. I was like, I can't do it. There's no possible way.
Yeah, yeah.
It after a certain time it gets bad. So as we're winding down, kind of tell us, is there anything else you have coming out this year? Any limited editions you have coming out, anything like that?
Like I was telling, I'm pretty solid on the 7 that we have right now since we just put out the red label in November. But what I want to perfect when I was down in Nicaragua is a barber pole. Barber pole I think is hit or miss. Of course, around St. Patrick's Day, everybody's rocking a barber pole, but as you can see, I'm a Habano and a Maduro person, so I actually want to develop a barber pole with a Habano and Maduro, San Andreas wrapper. But I want to put enough notes inside the binder and filler that it's gonna, hurry and get out of that wrapper.
Right.
So look fourth quarter. You should see about November or so. That should be perfected and out in the world. My thing now is I did a lot of podcasts last year, and then I fell off around third and fourth quarter. It's podcasts like this I really appreciate you guys putting me on because, like yesterday, I mean, I saw people who have either saw me on a podcast, introduced to my cigar through something like this. So I really want to get back on podcasts, and I want to do a lot more. I want to do some cigar weeks this year because I really feel like I tap into the right people in the cigar weeks and get my cigar out there. So that's what I'm really focusing on for this year. Brandon has been going pretty well. And also, I stepped up my Pearl last year. Before it was like the logo on this black print, but now, I have it fed into a Pearl. So a lot of people are coming like, oh man, I love your logo. I mean, non-smokers, smokers, and things like that. So I actually want to tap into that side of things as well with my marketing. So that's what I have coming up for this next year coming up.
Okay. And listen, if you want to come back on and you have something you want to release, or you want to talk about a new blend or test a new blend, you want to do it on here, you let us know. We bring you back on, of course. And now, being that you were talking about being in Nicaragua, real quick, what is the aging process like on your cigars? How long do they sit from the time they're rolled to the time they're released?
So any cigar that you get from me is a 5-year aging process. From seed to, it's crazy because I'm in this big fat, like it's like a warehouse, like an Amazon warehouse. I mean, there's 3-year aged tobacco to the left that they bring in. They every year they move it to a different piece of the warehouse. So it takes 5 years, and from 5 years when they roll my cigars, the cigars sit for another 6 months, and then they also freeze your cigar, or they put them in the freezer to kill the beetles and all that stuff. So if you ever get a beetle inside your cigar, that means they skip the freezer process. So I say a 5.5 year aging of the cigars before they get to me. Then they sit in my humidor to go from the Nicaraguan humidity to my DMB humidity for at least another 3 months. So like say for instance, cigars I'm getting next week, they're not going to touch any stores till about August. So I'd say 5 year, 5+ for any cigar that you get from me.
Wow. So they already aged the tobacco before they even roll your cigars. Wow. That's actually interesting, because you don't hear a lot of that. You hear, sometimes it's a year, it's 2 years, or sometimes it's tobacco they had sitting that nobody was using, so this brand decided to use it. because they wanted a longer age cigar. But that's interesting that it's 5 years before they even roll your cigars.
Man, the amount of,
That
and it's crazy.
they do that and then they roll them.
Yep. No, they roll them and then let them sit for 6 months. But it's crazy
Yeah.
because the amount of tobacco that was in this warehouse was baffling to me, because I'm like, man, like, it's that many cigars out here. And again, this is I'd say a mid-sized factory for a Stilly. I can't imagine what other warehouses look like that age cigars. Like, I mean, because like I said, I mean,
Right.
he makes, I think he has about 10 to 15 brands underneath him, and he also makes his own brands. But just imagine the aging process and how much tobacco that really is. I mean, that it was crazy.
Yeah, that's got to be a cool site. Like, that's on my list of things to do eventually, is to get to Nicaragua and see some of the factories and the people we've interviewed, and then also get to the Dominican Republic as well and kind of tour some of those factories, and again, just meet the people that we've had the opportunity to sit down with and interview,
Mhm.
because it's such an interesting, you hear them tell you about it, but to see it in person and go there and blend your own stuff and say, they blend it and say, hey, you take this, these are already made, here's what's already made, see if you like it. If you like it, there's factories that say, hey, this bundle is yours, or these 2 bundles are yours, take it home,
Yeah.
and enjoy it.
Yep.
And it's cool to be able to do that and blend your own cigars, and then potentially have your own little stockpile in the DR and just order them, or in Nicaragua and be like, hey, I need 3 bundles for my personal use
Yep.
by X amount of time.
Hmm.
And it's so cool to be able to see that and hear that and do all that. So listen, we're winding down here. We got about 6 minutes left. Tell everybody where they can follow you, and again, where they can order your stuff so that they can try your cigars.
Yeah, for sure. So so first place you should hit is Tribal Trilogy _DC on Instagram. Follow me at Dapper Cigar Lounge on Instagram as well. They'll tie into our Facebook. Online, you can get them from me at Dapper Cigar Lounge with 2ps.com. You go to the cigar section, order whatever cigars you need. DM me. I'm a big DMer. If you DM me, it might take me a day or two to get back with you, but I'll definitely get the order ready for you. We're on a few of our lines is on Wolfpack Cigar Club, Black Box Cigar Club. You can get those online. If you're in the DMV area, definitely hit up Invictus, which is in Waldorf. Hit up Stafford Tobacco, which is down in Stafford. La O Mills, my man Leo in Alexandria, Virginia. Make sure you go roll through Smoke and Mirrors, which is in Fredericksburg. Stop at Orleans After Dark, which is in Fredericksburg. If you're on the California Chesapeake Bay area, check my man out, Mr. C's, down in Luxby, Maryland. If you're in Little Old North Carolina, make sure you go to Black River Tobacco Cigar. If you grabbing a bite to eat down at the National Harbor, make sure you go to Brass Tap. Ask for he has the Ukoma in there. Make sure you go on the Brass Tap. If you're golfing at Langston Golf Course, which is in Washington, D.C., if you're a Mulligan's on the pub down in Virginia, golfing as well, tell them, make sure give you a Tribal Trilogy. If you're at Continent DC, which is a Afro-Caribbean restaurant, the cigars are there as well. Their humidor is packed with Tribal Trilogy. If you're at Buddy's DC, which is down the street from Howard University, good Kappa brother of mine, his humidor is filled with Tribal Trilogy in DC. That's where we are right now, and we're trying to expand. If hit up Maddie, he can get you a contract with me. We are bonded and everything in Ohio, Pennsylvania, and again, please continue to support podcasts like this, because if it wasn't for podcasts that gave me an opportunity, I wouldn't be where I am today. And just look forward to where we're going to be in the next couple months. We're a vendor at Charleston Smokeout, which is in May. I got an invite over to Chicago Cigar Fest, so I'm gonna be out there as well. And just watch my Instagram page for where we'll be next. I'm a member of the Good Time Gang, Brandywine. There's a big following there as well. So hit up my girl Bella. We'll get you the cigars, man. Thank you very much for having me on.
Thank you again, sir, for coming on. We appreciate it. And again, like I said, if you want to come back on and test out new blends with us, whatever you want to do, anything, you let me know. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, for sure. Watch out for. I'm gonna send you and your dad. I only sent you 2, so I get my. I'll send you the rest of them. Give me about a week or 2. Last time it took me about 6 weeks to get it to you, but I'll shoot you
It's okay. It's okay. Listen,
yeah.
You know what? It takes time. We're no rush because when we booked you, it was already. I think it was only like the end of December, beginning of January. So it wasn't no thing. I always check in like a couple weeks before to make sure we're still good. This way everybody's still on the same page because we've had it where we've had guests the day of go, oh, I can't make it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, cool. Like we don't care. It's just like, all right, no problem. And we revert everything back around. We do some changes and we make it happen. But I appreciate you coming on. Thank you again, sir. I look forward to trying the
Omeleche.
Omeleche. I didn't want to butcher the name. But I'm looking forward to trying this. I might smoke that later or tomorrow. So again, guys, go get your cigars from his website. Make sure you follow him. Get the red label if you haven't gotten it already, because this cigar is phenomenal. I mean, I'm still smoking it, but I don't got much left. It's a fantastic cigar. We'll definitely have him back on for sure. And yeah, it's been fun, guys, and we will see you next week with United Cigars.
All right, guys, have a blessed one. Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
Life is like a duck. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Here at Military Broadcast Radio, we're teaming up with our friends at Die Tired, the veteran-friendly music band spreading strength, resilience, and mental health awareness, one shirt at a time.
And check this out. Their brand new shirts feature broadcast beaker right on the breast pocket. A reminder that you can weather the storm, and you're never alone.
Shirts are only $25, and proceeds support giving veterans a voice. MBR's mission to teach veterans how to podcast and videocast. Because when our vets are talking, they're not overthinking. They're not second-guessing. Together, we stop the 22 stigma. Grab your shirt today at mbradio.us and hit the shop. Or go directly to toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband. That's toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband.
Suit up, stand strong.
Remember, we're unduckable together.
You're built tougher than the storm.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.